I meet a lot of students like Manoj. He is a JEE dropper, aiming for NIT, and very soon he may become the sole earner of his family. So when he asks me, should I choose computers or electronics because I don't want to end up in a field that pays less even after getting into a top college, that is not a casual career question, that is fear. The fear of choosing the wrong branch and wasting 4 years. The fear that AI will change the game before he even gets his first job. The fear that after board exams, JEE, a dropped year, and years of family sacrifice, he still might not earn what his family needs from him. This video will show you what CSE and ECE really are, how AI is changing both of them, and the one question that tells you which side you are built for actually. Every year, around the time JEE results come out, the same conversation starts on YouTube, on Reddit, in WhatsApp groups, in school corridors, and it sounds something like this. Bhai, choose ECE. Semiconductors are the future. CSE is finished. Too many students, not enough jobs. Software layoffs are everywhere. Electronics is the safe side now. And if you're a student or a family, this sounds like a warning. The panic is not irrational. It is built on 3 real signals. First, the government of India has committed 76,000 crores through India Semiconductor Mission 2.0 with projects worth roughly 1.6 lakhs crore already approved. That is not a rumor, that is a policy shift. Second, student supply is also skewed. Roughly 3.9 lakh students are entering CSE this year, roughly 1.6 lakhs are entering ECE, that is 2.4 CSE students for every 1 ECE student. Third, hiring in parts of the traditional software services sector has slowed. Layoffs have happened. Students are watching and asking themselves a genuine question. Am I choosing the wrong side? Will AI take my job? So the fear is real. But the conclusion people are drawing from it is lazy. They are saying ECE is safe, CSE is risky. That is the mistake. And to understand why, you first need to understand what CSE and ECE actually are. Ask most people what is the difference between them. They will say CSE is software, ECE is hardware. That is not wrong, but it is incomplete. The ACE and IEEE, the two global bodies that define engineering disciplines, describe computer engineering as the study of how information is structured, processed, and made to run on a machine. CSE is the discipline of abstraction, logic, data, algorithms, instructions. It is about making information structured, processed, and useful on a machine. Electronics and communication engineering is described as the discipline that brings computing and electrical engineering together. ECE is the discipline of physical systems, signals, circuits, communication, silicon. It is about building machines that can actually execute those instructions. So here is the simplest way to think about it. CSE writes the instruction, ECE builds the machine that runs them. One without the other produces nothing. Jim Keller designed Tesla's full self-driving chip. Before that, he worked at AMD and before that at Apple. He has operated at the highest levels of both the worlds simultaneously inside the same organizations. He said hardware and software teams are two sides of the same coin, not two competing parts, two sides of the same coin. I would like to call this the coin. CSE is one side, ECE is the other. Neither is complete without the other, neither is safer than the other. They are not rivals, they are two halves of the same engineering reality. But you're probably asking a sharper question now. Is this relevant to me? Here in India, not in California? You have already heard about India Semiconductor Mission 2.0. It is not just a manufacturing push, it is a full stack bet. ECE engineers are needed for VLSI, chip design, fabrication, RF power and physical systems. CSE engineers are needed for EDA tools, firmware, operating systems, AI workloads, and software layers. Even India's semiconductor push is not choosing one branch over the other. It is building the coin. The design linked incentive scheme currently supports 24 semiconductor design startups building indigenous processors. Dhruva 64, Shakti, Ajit. These processors need ECE engineers for chip architecture, they need CSE engineers for the firmware, the software toolchain, and the application layers. Now look at GCCs. In financial year 2024, the GCC workforce in India stood at 19 lakh professionals. By 2024, it had grown to approximately 24 lakhs. Projections show 28 to 40 lakhs by 2030. The roles in highest demand are software engineering, ML and AI engineering, embedded, software, edge computing, both sides, both branches, both are needed. But Manoj's deepest fear is still sitting there unanswered. If I choose ECE, will I always earn less than my CSE batchmates? If I choose CSE, am I choosing the overcrowded site? That is the question I want to answer now. Let us go back to those three real signals. Semiconductor incentives are real, ECE scarcity is real, pressure in parts of software services sector is real. All of that is true. But here is the thing students and parents are missing. Shortages do not stay shortages forever. The moment a sector becomes attractive, supply starts chasing it. Students move, colleges add seats, coaching centers launch courses. Training pipelines open. And slowly the scarcity premium disappears. So choosing ECE only because it looks scarce today can be just as short-sighted as choosing CSE only because it paid more yesterday. And CSE demand is not disappearing, it is shifting. GCCs are growing fast in India, and GCCs are not just software companies. They include manufacturing, pharma, finance, healthcare, R&D, heavy businesses, all of which need both sides of the coin simultaneously. Even semiconductor companies will not run on electronics talent alone. Any serious modern product needs hardware and software together. Markets change, hiring patterns change, employer mix changes, hype changes, but a 35-year career cannot be built on one cycle of panic. So do not choose ECE because YouTube is excited about semiconductors this year. And do not reject CSE because one part of the software market looks weak right now. But here is the question that follows naturally. What happens when AI arrives? Let me start with CSE side. Tesla's full self-driving system, version 11, was built on over 3 lakh lines of handwritten C++ code. 3 lakh lines. Hundreds of engineers writing explicit rules for every road scenario the car might encounter. Then FSD version 12 arrived. Elon Musk described it in the live stream.
And we did not program in, there's no line of code that says slow down for speed bumps. So it is doing this based entirely on video training. Yeah, and there's a bicyclist. Again, there is no line of code that says give clearance to bicyclists. It is just doing what people do.
3 lakh lines of C++, down to approximately 2000 lines. 99% of driving decisions now made by neural network trained on millions of video clips. The job did not disappear, it moved up a level. Andrej Karpathy, Tesla's director of AI, described the new role of computer engineers as 75% data curation and 25% algorithm optimization. The engineer stopped writing rules, the engineer became a teacher, shaping what the model learns from, identifying where it fails, curating the examples that correct it. That is a harder job than the previous one, and it still requires everything a CS degree is built on. Understanding model architecture, evaluating inference, quality, reasoning about training data, managing the infrastructure that runs it all. What changed is not whether CSE matters, what changed is what mastery of CSE now looks like. Now the ECE side. The semiconductor industry has traditionally run on 18 to 24 month chip design cycle. That is how long it takes to design, validate and certify a new chip. Tesla announced in January 2026 that it is targeting a 9-month design cycle for future chip generations, not through shortcuts, through AI-driven EDA tools that compress design compilations, debugging, and simulations from days to hours. Synopsys, one of the world's leading chip design software companies, has documented this. Tasks that took human designers 2 days now take 5 minutes. The ECE engineer's job did not disappear either. It moved up a level. The physical problems, thermal management, signal integrity, power delivery, still require deep hardware knowledge. What AI eliminated is not the knowledge requirement, it eliminated the iteration time. An ECE engineer who understands the physics can now explore a design space in weeks that previously took years. That is not replacement, that is amplification. But only for the engineer who has the domain depth to direct what the tool is producing. Here is what the AI layer reveals about both sides. Shallow domain knowledge made both branches replaceable. Deep domain knowledge in either branch made the AI layer compound career benefits, and this one is worth sitting with. When you look at a system, any system, what do you naturally want to understand first? Sit with that for a second. If your instinct goes to the logic, the code, the model, the data, the instructions that tell it what to do, then CSE side is pulling you. If your instinct goes to machine, the circuit, the signal, the chip, the physical systems executing those instructions, that is the ECE side pulling you. Not which one sounds safer, which one makes you want to go deeper even when nobody is watching. That answer is your honest starting point. Because when curiosity drives the choice, depth follows naturally. And when depth follows, the AI layer compounds it rather than replaces it. The branch you choose at 17 is not your destiny. The depth you build in the decades that follow is your destiny. If you want help answering that question for your specific situation, not a salary table, not a comparison video, but an honest conversation about which side of this coin you are actually built for, the link to book a free appointment with me is in the description. One conversation